William Wallace, Mel Gibson, or Braveheart. He went through there as well. It's a museum today. And as we turn the boat around to starboard, on our left, on our port side, we're going to see Tower Bridge. Now we have a speedboat in the river. It causes a wave, so you might feel the boat tip a little bit. You can stand up, but do be careful, be aware the boat might rock a little bit. And Tower Bridge in June, so in about 2 months, it will be 123 years old. So 1894 they opened the bridge. They've turned the top of the bridge into a museum. It's about £10. But years ago, as the bridge opened and the ships came in, people walked across the top for free. So that bridge used to open every day, over 20 times a day. So ships from all over the world came into this part of the river. But no shipping could go any further than the next bridge. There's been a bridge there for 2,000 years, London Bridge. So the North Sea's behind us, and so that bridge opened every day, about 20 times. No more shipping today. Occasionally we get cruise liners coming in, and the cruise liners, they berth alongside the warship ahead of us. The HMS Belfast, built in Belfast, Northern Ireland, where they also built the Titanic. Saw lots of action in the Second World War and the Korean War in the 50s, and she's open to the public, a museum ship. Above the ship, Western Europe's tallest building, the Shard of Glass, over 1,000 feet, designed by an Italian, Renzo Piano. He lived near the top. They gave him an apartment for the design, but he sold it for £45 million. There's a hotel in the middle, the 5-star Shangri-La Hotel. And you can also stand at the top. You have to pay £30. And for children, £25. So very expensive, isn't it? You might just want to visit the building on the right, because to go to the top of the walkie-talkie building is free. There's a balcony at the top, the Sky Garden. I was just talking to a lady and she wanted to go up there. There's a waiting list, usually they say 2 weeks, but I've never booked. I always just turn up, and if you just walk in there at the bottom, take photo ID, they will normally let you straight up to the top. I mean, it's very quiet today, so they like to know who's coming. They like to book you in. They say take your passport, and it is free to go up there. The yellow brick building was a fish market, Billingsgate, but they moved away when the shipping finished in the 80s. Look on the roof of that building and you'll see the fish, the weather vanes, the Billingsgate fish market. Over 400 years we had fish being sold from here. Ships arrived from as far away as Canada, ships coming to London with the fish market. But so no shipping went any further than this part of the Thames. This is where the Romans built a bridge, and there was only one bridge on the river until the 1800s, and it stood here. So the only bridge over the Thames, London Bridge. They opened our new bridge here, 1973. The Queen opened it, because the one before this, it was sinking in the mud. In the 60s, we took it down and we sold it. An American bought it, $2 million. He had it numbered, shipped over to America and rebuilt. Do you know where it is in America, ladies? Correct. Arizona, the desert, Lake Havasu City. So not many people know that story. So I'm glad we got you on the boat just then. The last one's on. because people don't believe me when I tell them. But it's in the desert, isn't it? Arizona, the old London Bridge. To your left, a pirate ship, the working replica of the Golden Hind, Sir Francis Drake ship, the first Englishman to sail the world in 1577, and it took him 3 years, the Golden Hind. If you're lucky, look on the right, underneath the bridge on the river wall, a glass box, a sauna. And if you look through the windows, half-naked people, usually on display. Yeah, he's waving at us, look, give him a wave. Now, some days are much better than others. There are days you wished you never looked over there. We have been known to do circles before though, so on a good day we will go round again. We shan't bother today. A lovely pub on the left behind us, the Anchor, well over 400 years old. It's a lovely area, Bankside, and behind that pub, the Borough Market, and it's where they filmed Bridget Jones and Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels. Suffolk Bridge, and on the right, Vintner's Place, the wine merchants of London. So any new alcohol imported, it must be tested inside that building before it can be sold. The people that work in there, so they've got a terrible job. They have to sit in there drinking all day, ladies and gentlemen. Terrible job, eh? Now look to your left, the building that's timber framed, it's got the red flag, William Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. It was opened about 20 years ago by the Queen. There's no cover to that roof, it's open to the elements. So if it rains and you're in there, you're going to get wet. And the show still continues in all weathers, as they say, the show must go on. As between April and September, plays are performed daily. You might want to book up to go there. Tickets begin £5 a ticket. Very cheap, eh, for live entertainment. I mean, what is £5 nowadays? And how's the live commentary going? Oh, good. Millennium Bridge, featured in Harry Potter. I'm told he flies beneath it, the bridge that was moving in Harry Potter. And on the right, St Paul's Cathedral, the masterpiece of Sir Christopher Wren. It took 35 years to build. Look on top of the dome, a viewing level, you can actually stand above the dome. But there's no lift, it's a staircase, over 500 steps to the very top. And back on our left, with a glass roof and a chimney, the new Tate Modern, the largest modern art gallery in the world. Doesn't cost anything to go there. It is free to visit the Tate Modern. Does anybody like modern art on the boat? 2 people. Explains why it's free. It must do. Blackfriars Railway Bridge, you can see the people up there waiting. The station used to be on the right. 4 years ago they demolished it. They've put the station on the bridge with a roof, solar panelling, Blackfriars. And looking left and right to these columns in the river, 3 of them, they used to carry steam trains from Dover into London. It became unsafe, the top, years ago. And this is the road bridge, Blackfriars Road. Come through the bridge on the right, Unilever House, Soap, detergent, food manufacturers, Unilever. That's a nice building. And next door, the old school for boys, City of London school with a sloping roof. Not a school today, an American bank, J.P. Morgan. And the red church-like building, Sion College, a school and a study for the Anglican clergy in London. And you'll see the heads of lions on the wall, green heads of lions. A Victorian flood warning. There was always a fear of flooding in London years ago. So if the water level got too high and it got to the mouth of that lion, a warning would be sent across the city. And in London there's a rhyme. It's very short, it rhymes very well. When the lions are drinking, then London is sinking. And there's another one, it's a bit newer, so it rhymes just as well. When the heads are ducked, then London's flooded. Of course. Yes. To your left, the television studios of ITV. We have a beach in London. Can you see the beach, ladies? Very nice over there it is on a summer's day. Look, building sand castles, paddling in the polluted river. Oh, it's a lovely day over there on a nice summer's afternoon. Behind the trees, television studios of X Factor, Pop Idol, Britain's Got Talent. So we are very talented in this country. Last year's winner was a dog. Seriously, a canine, a dog won it. Jumping through hoops of fire. Brilliant. Now you've got the right idea there. There's a lovely photo. You might want to stand up actually. You can see the clock come through. We've got the clock, we've got the London Eye. Look to the right of the clock, Westminster Abbey, the two white towers. All we need now is a double-decker bus. I mean, you've got our boat in the picture. There's a boat on the left. That's a nice photo. It'd be nice though if a red double-decker bus comes along. But typically, never a bus when you want one. You see, the tide is quite high. 7 metres from this morning to high tide. 7 metres. Lovely time you've picked to come out on the boat. You really have. Now there's a bus. It's not a double-decker, so we can't see the clock now. But I hope you've got a nice couple of photos there. The building on the left, it's got a flashing board. Our National Theatre on the left-hand side. That area on the left, we call it the South Bank. And Waterloo Bridge. Last week it rained heavily. Look how clean it is. When it rains, you get to wash. It's a self-cleaning Portland stone. Look underneath, look at the difference in colour, where the rain doesn't penetrate. Built by women in the Second World War, we call it the Ladies' Bridge. Waterloo. All of the men, they was away fighting, and they built the bridge using Portland stone. On the right, with a green tiled roof, Savoy Hotel in the Strand. Next door, with a clock face, the old petroleum offices, Shell Max House. They have a new office on the left. That tall building on the left, that is the new Shell office for London. On the right, Cleopatra's Needle, the obelisk, over 3,000 years old. Made in Egypt, made in pairs. The other one, the twin, New York City in Central Park. Now we do have New Yorkers on the boat today. I'm sure you might recognise it. So I've actually seen it, the twin, Central Park, New York. And with your camera, you might want to look behind us. You can see the skyline of London, walkie-talkie, cheese grater, and St Paul's Cathedral. You might want to stand in it. It's a lovely photo, isn't it? Even better if you stand on the footbridge above us. Go up on the footbridge and imagine a view, the dome and the golden cross of St Paul's. And we'll give the people a wave on the bridge. They usually wave back, that's it. Isn't that nice? Yeah, they're all waving at us. Sometimes people pour drinks in the boat. Seriously, so wave to them, hope for the best.